Okay, so there was a question on what the title of the book that Lama Palden has written is, and then somebody has responded, basically, love on every breath, if you haven't seen that message, as a response. And now I think it's almost time, so I will wrap it up, but I'm quite tempted to ask one last question. You, in this conversation, as well as in your book, come across as a very sort of ecumenical, non-sectarian person, and your love on every breath can be practiced by anybody following any spiritual traditions, you say. I, especially working on Buddha nature, I have almost to come to a point to believe that maybe even Christian mystics, Sufi mystics, Hindu mystics many of them must have realized Buddha nature, as did Niguma or Tilopa. What are your thoughts when you explained earlier about your experience in the church, and also when you shared with your friend the bishop? It looks like it's a message that is universal.
I think so. I think different paths may not exactly bring the same fruition, but I think individuals within different paths, come to similar places. I think the paths themselves have different fruitions. But take, for example, Thomas Merton, and he met Kala Rinpoche and Chacho Rinpoche, and especially with Chacho Rinpoche, they became very, very close. And unfortunately, then Thomas Merton had an unfortunate accident and passed away. And Sitra Rinpoche told me one time that this current Sitra Rinpoche was at a monastery of Christian monks, and they were serving him tea, and he felt like he should be serving them tea. He felt the vibration, and they had been in silence for over 30 years, most of them, that he felt he was in the presence of his Mahamudra masters when he was in their presence. Anyway, I think that, in mystics around the world, when people are real deep practitioners, there comes to be a place where there's a lot of meeting ground. Even though the paths may not all get to the exact same place, there's a lot of meeting ground among mystics. And I think that there's a lot of, I think that there is a lot of discovery of what we would call Buddha nature and residing there, and I personally feel too that some people incarnate in some of these different mystical paths over different lifetimes, So one person might be a rishi in one lifetime, and they might become a Tibetan Buddhist in another lifetime, and a Christian mystic in another lifetime, and sample different paths in different lifetimes. So I think that, to me, it's the beauty, it's like having different flowers in the garden. It's part of the richness of humanity that we have these different paths that bring various different richnesses, just like we wouldn't want only one kind of flower on the whole earth. We have different flowers of different traditions, and it is part of we wouldn't want just one musical instrument. So it's part of the richness of our situation.